Okay, so now we are ready to take your comic strip and animate the mouths of your cartoons. So you will need to draw both of them in the app called FlipaClip. We're going to use the pen tool and you're going to need to draw both animals. If you need to draw it large and then shrink it down, I'll show you how to do that. This is me drawing the penguin next to the narwhal that I've already created. If you find that you need to adjust the size of the eraser, you can press and hold the eraser icon. You'll see a dot show up to the right or underneath it. That small dot you can press up or press down and it will adjust the size. To make your animals talk, you will need to have some kind of visible mouth. For this creature, I'm doing a penguin so he can have a beak. But for my narwhal, I just used a curved line. Either type of mouth could work depending on your animal. Just make sure the mouth is visible. So for example, if you're doing an elephant and the trunk is in the way, you'll need to have the animal with the trunk raised so you could see the bottom part of the lip moving. Okay, now my animals are pretty much complete. I'll make some minor changes, but once they're done, I'm going to zoom out and you'll notice that the penguin is much larger than the narwhal, which can be totally fine, but let me show you how to change that. If you'd like to change the size, move down to the lasso, circle your finger around the animal you'd like to change the size of. You'll get a pink box. Touch one of the corners and drag. That will allow you to reposition your animal, tilt it, make it smaller, make it bigger, so that they're in relation to each other in the way that you like. Okay, now I am ready to animate. I need to have the mouth of my penguin move up and down. As you can see, I've started that process, but let me show you how this is done so that we can finish the animation. This type of cartooning is called frame by frame animation, which means you will be drawing on the individual frames. And in typical animation style, you would only make changes on the twos or on every third cell. So you keep two that are the same, and then on the third cell, you change it. So on 1 and 2, it'll be the same. 3 and 4 will be the same. 5 and 6 will be the same. So you'll see me copy and duplicate some of these cells. At other times, I need to erase and redraw the mouth closing. So that's what's happening here. I'm closing the mouth by erasing and redrawing just the mouth. Now remember, the lines that are in gray are from the previous layer. Remember, we've done animation, so that's called the onion layer. That's what was previously drawn in the cell before, so that I can see how to line up the beak. So now the mouth is closed. I'll need to copy and paste this cell one step forward. So now the mouth is closed, and I'll need to erase the closed mouth and draw it open. And that essentially is the process. It's copying, pasting, erasing, and redrawing. And you're just making small changes for this project. If this was a more grand animation, or if you want to take it a step further, in each of the cells, you could have the animal blink or wave their arms, like raise their arms up and wave them back and forth. You could have them just do minor things. I would not have them walk yet. That's a whole separate process, a walk cycle. You could just do simple things like blinking, waving, mouth moving for this stage. To duplicate a cell, you will need to press it and you'll see this row of options. The one I've circled in red is copy and the one in blue is paste. And then when you get that new layer, you can erase and redraw the section that you'd like to edit for the animation. Every now and then you should play your animation. So far I only have 16 frames and it's pretty fast, but let's talk about what to do if it's going too fast. In the upper right hand corner you'll see 3 dots. Touch that, then touch Project Settings, then move on to the frames per second. You can adjust that. Usually it's set at 12. You can adjust it to 8 and then save your changes. That should make your animation a little bit slower. Now, the joke that my penguin is saying is asking the narwhal, "What do you call a funny chicken?" And the narwhal has to say, "What?" And then the penguin is going to say, "A comedy hen," as in like comedian. Haha. So what I need to do is continue making the penguin's mouth move, but at some point I need to make the narwhal move from a smile to asking the question, what? So I will continue to work on duplicating and redrawing and adjusting the mouth of the penguin till I get to about 20 frames. And then I'm going to need to change the narwhal. Okay, so I have about 22 frames and now I need the narwhal to ask the question, what? And I need to erase the smile. So now I'm not doing anything with the penguin. I'm just going to work on the narwhal. So the penguin stays still. I change the mouth of the narwhal, I erase it, and then I draw a circle to indicate that he's opening his mouth and he's still looking at the penguin. And once I draw that, I copy and paste it several times because the time it takes to ask the question what, the person watching the animation needs to have enough time to see the narwhal change its mouth. So I would copy and paste that about 5 or 6 times. Okay, so now I'm in the home stretch. My animation is now ready to listen and hear what the penguin is going to say. So the narwhal changes from an O sound in asking what to just a straight line. And I go ahead and have the penguin repeat opening and closing its mouth to say the answer. And the answer is Comedy hen. And I'll do that a few times, copy and paste, redraw the mouth over and over, open and closing, until I get to about 35 frames. Okay, so at about 35 frames, I trust that the joke has been said, and now I just need to show reactions. So I'm going to erase the eyes of the narwhal and the mouth and make the eyes closed as if he's laughing, and open the mouth to show that he's laughing. And then I'll do the same for the penguin. I will make the mouth wider for the penguin and close the eyes for the penguin as well. Okay, so about 40 frames, you should be done, 40 to 45. You can play your movie and see if you have enough frames to tell the joke and to see the animals react. If you do, you're ready to make the movie. To do that, you'll press the three buttons at the top, choose Make Movie, then choose Make Movie again. It'll make a little thing, and then Save Photos. It'll save it to your photo library, and that's it. Now you can import into iMovie and add your own voice or a friend's voice using the microphone. Happy animation! Okay, now you can see that I have imported my FlipaClip animation into iMovie, and I'm ready to add the sound effects. But when I did a test, I discovered that 5 seconds is still too short. So when I play it, I can see that I don't have enough time to tell the end of the joke. So here's a little trick. You can tap your movie, and at the bottom you see some options. You can choose action, speed, volume, titles, etc. Let's go to speed, and let's move the white dot to the left and make it 10 seconds. 10 seconds should be long enough, so I'm going to test this out. Hey, Nikki, what do you call a funny chicken? What? A comedian. Ha 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 ha. All right, that's plenty of time. So now I am ready to actually record it. I would hit the microphone on the left-hand side. And for sound effects, you can go to audio on the right and you can choose crowd cheer, crickets, comedy horn, booing crowd, whatever you like. All right? I can't wait to see what you guys create. And this is the end of this fun project.